Alright everyone, it's your boy Natsuki here, back at it again with another new spanking hot what if video. And today is part 2 of a series I started earlier today. What if Naruto was an immortal? Now y'all might be wondering, why are you doing a part 2 of this? I thought you were going to do a part 2 of this in a month or two. Well, a whole bunch of people commented part 2, and I realized something. I didn't really give a full, in-depth backstory, or no backstory at all. So this part might be considered the backstory part, or the filler part, if that's what you want to call it. As well, we start with all things, the great beginning. Now, the beginning starts with this, or the mural of immortals. As you can see, there is 9 beings on this mural. The one at the top is Deus. The one next to him on the left, is, I forget his name. The one underneath that guy is Yasha. The one underneath him, Wizen. The one next to him, Argus. The one next to him, Sergi. Next to him, Azura. And the one next to him is... Darn, I forgot her name as well. I'm sorry, I forgot most of her names. But the one in the middle, is Naruto. As we begin many years ago, in a great war of 3 types of beings, the Otsutsuki, the Goma, and the Immortals. Back then, they were known as the 9 immortal warlords. Sergi, the warlord of lust. I forget what this one's name is, but he was the warlord of sloth. Naruto, the warlord of infinity. Wizen, the warlord of envy. Or I think it's envy. Azura, the warlord of wrath. No, Yasha's envy, sorry. Wizen's something else. Maybe greed? No, wait. Yeah, he's gluttony, sorry. Deus, pride. Can't remember her name. Envy. Argus, greed. And Yasha... Oh, no, wait. Envy. I'm sorry, I forget. I kind of forgot the aura. I'm the order of names. I know the titles, so... Well, let's begin. As we begin with Naruto walking down a ginormous set of stairs. And we begin with Naruto sitting on a throne on a ginormous golden and gold, silver, black, and purple warship. As this is Naruto's private warship. Or the Eviscerator. As we go to Naruto sitting on his throne. As he then says, activate the purification cannons. The Goma and the Otsutsuki, he cannot run for much longer. As Naruto then laughs. Has a terrifying laugh. As then we see an old man walk right next to Naruto, as he then says, "You heard him, and you heard these. You heard him. You heard Naruto. Activate the purification cannons and set the power to 11." As we see an entire army of warriors cladded in gold, silver, and gold and silver armor. As he then gold, silver, and bronze armor, and along with some iron. As then a man behind them says, I really wish that there was some easier ways than just fighting constantly. As Naruto would then give him one glare, as he'd then say, "But this'll have to do for now." As then a man who looked like this would walk up the stairs, and he'd then say, "Brother Naruto, there is a problem, and we have a problem. It is of dire emergency. The Otsutsuki and Goma and Vilma, Veltra, and Ishiki are here. And Viltra and Ishiki are working together." As then a man who looks like this then says, what is the matter of that? Huh? You do know that Viltra is weak compared to us, and Ishiki is weaker. So there won't be that much of a threat. As then Deus says, calm down. It should be easy for all 9 of us to dispatch of their armies. In fact, at Naruto's word, we can eviscerate them almost instantly, and we can purify them almost instantly. As then a woman like this then says, and who looks like this then says, "Oh, come on. Really? That will destroy everything. That you should know better. You should know better. In fact, why are we even having this war? Now, if I had Naruto's power, things would be a lot different. A lot more different around here." As then a man like this then says, "Because we want them dead. We want them dead so we can take over their land, their treasures, their gold, and everything else. And then we'll party over their corpses." As then a man like this says, Fine. After all, my vote would not really count. And my word would not really count, as the majority is already won. It would be 4 against 5 for the war. As Naruto then says, "On second thought, I'm getting bored. Why do we let our cannons purify them when we ourselves can go down there and destroy them?" As then the other 8 then say, "Yes, Naruto." As then Naruto says, the old man then says, "Set engines to 45% power, and set engines to 90% power facing upward. And with the engines facing upward, we're going in for a landing." As suddenly the engines of the entire warship would rotate as they would begin hovering down towards the earth. or towards a battlefield, as we see a man with terrifying, with 4 terrifying giant arms, along with 2 regular-sized clawed arms, and a giant terrifying jaw, and fire for hair. Hair then say, they're here. Ishiki, prepare it. Prepare your warriors. As Ishiki would then say, yes. Do not worry, we've already prepared everything. And for the battle that is to come. As then Veltra would basically a terrifying giant monster made of lava called a Goma would walk up to Viltra as he then say, Lord Viltra, it appears that they are really planning to wipe us out. Naruto himself is coming out. As then Ishiki and Viltra have their eyes wide open, as then say, what? Wait, Naruto is coming down? Is going to fight us? As then the ship hovers right above them. As from out comes Naruto. As he then says, and as he basically summons a giant staff. As he then a giant scythe in his hand, as basically imagine Hidan's scythe except double-sided. And not like double-sided as in a glaive, like on the other rotated side of it. Okay? As this is called, this is called the Scepter of of Infinity. Or the Infinite Scepter of Lord Naruto. As Naruto walks out, and as basically a hole opens from the bottom of the ship, and Naruto superhero lands on the ground, creating a small crater. As he then says, Viltra and Ishiki, for long our kinds have come to battle, and for long all 3 of us have battled. Now, I have not exactly been taking this war seriously. However, you've begun to annoy me, like the little pests that you are. So, here's the thing. I send out my strongest of the strong. I have sent out my strongest warrior, myself, to fight both of you at the same time. As Naruto then says, so without means, please do not hold back. As suddenly all 6 of his eyes open up, as they're red and black, but he does not go into his terrifying dragon state. As Naruto unsheaths his katana, and then says, I'll give you each 30 seconds to fight me. Use your strongest attacks, and strike fast and strike hard. After all, that might be your only chance of even having a chance at beating me. And that might be your only hope of having even a chance at beating me. As the 2 would then rush at Naruto using everything they had. Ishiki would be using genjutsus due to regular eye abilities, along with all sorts of other things such as metal rods that he stabbed Naruto with, basically pain style. in Boruto. Flight. He flies around, uses wood style, and a whole bunch of other crazy shit. As Viltra begins, basically, he summons 4 giant tentacles out of the ground. He summons 5 ginormous tentacles out of the ground to try and attack Naruto. As Naruto doesn't even have a barrier up and the attacks aren't doing crap to him. As then says, is this what I was truly expecting? Is this all you truly have? Weak. I was expecting more from the from the god of the Goma and the king of the Otsutsuki. But well, let's get on with it already. As Naruto then dashes faster than anything they could and faster than any imaginable speed possible. As he then grabs his double-sided Hidan scythe and slashes, and basically uses it and slashes his Ishiki in the head. As then a Otsutsuki known as Jashin walks and runs up to Naruto saying, Stop this. Fight me, not him. As Naruto is actually interested about this guy. The famous Otsutsuki god of death. Jashin Otsutsuki. As Naruto then says, What a coincidence. The famous Otsutsuki god of death. Here. About to die. Well then. Otsutsuki god of death, I am Naruto. The immortal warlord of infinite. And of infinity. Behold. As Naruto would then and open all 6 of his eyes at once, as they would each begin to look like an entire universe. As Naruto would then say, Infinite Void. As suddenly, Jashin would be trapped, and would basically, a portal would open underneath Jashin. Because he was not expecting it, he would not be able to fly above it. As the portal would suck Jashin in, as he would end in an infinite void. As suddenly, Naruto would then say, Infinite Void style, infinite chaos. As suddenly, infinite colors of infinite shapes of lightning and energy would hurl out of nowhere. As infinite elements would be attacking him in infinite different possible ways. As Naruto would then say, infinite void style, infinite death. As Jashin would begin dying in every single way imaginable. And then rebirthed, then you die in another way, and rebirthed, and you get it. As the Naruto would then say, infinite stop. As suddenly Jashin would turn into dust. As Naruto would then look in front of Viltra and, Ishiki, as he would then say, even a god was too weak. Even an Otsutsuki god was weak. But I mean, that is my trump card. The Infinity Void. And the Infinite Void. How about I just use this? As Naruto would then say, a purification laser. As suddenly a beam of gold, golden and white energy would be blasted at Viltra, as it would hit Viltra's skin, as he would then explode, load into gold ash. As Naruto would then say, Ishiki Otsutsuki, for far long have you pretended to be the strongest of the strong, and now I will show you what you truly are. As Naruto would then say, infinite void style, infinite darkness. As suddenly the portal would open, but out of it, dark, infinite tentacles of shadows and darkness would come out. As unholy and demonic nightmares would rise out from the portal and would begin terrorizing and murdering Ishiki. As Naruto would then say, that was easy. As he would then say, infinite style, infinite deaths, as suddenly all of the Goma and Otsutsuki, the warriors, would then die, as they just fall over into golden ash. As Naruto would then say, weak. They can't even handle that power. Weak. As Naruto would then walk back to his ship, as that night he and his brothers, and he and his family, would have a battle, and would have a bit of an argument. As Azura won, after seeing all of the countless deaths that Naruto caused, that they had caused, did not want to be there with his siblings anymore, as he would then say, I want to live a peaceful life. As Naruto would then scoff, as he'd then say, what, you want to live as a weak, puny buffoon of a mortal? You want to be able to die? Then he then said, no, I just want to live. Live without conflict. Naruto would then say, fine, but the second you come back here, I will come back as well. Hold on. Alright, everyone. Sorry about that. Had to do some stuff. Now I'm pretty sure I remember where we last were. As Naruto would say, fine, you may leave, but when you arrive, when you come back, so will I. As all of the other 7 siblings would just look at Naruto and say, what? As Naruto would then say, so, if Azura's taking a break, why can't I? As the 7 siblings would then try to fight Naruto to get him to stay, but as we all know, he basically goes into his infinite god form and beats the crap out of them. Even if they're immortal, they can still feel pain, because, well, if you do or do not remember, he is quite literally the immortal warlord general of infinity. As in, he has infinite power, infinite strength, infinite knowledge, and he can do an infinite amount of infinite random attacks. Basically, it's random bullshit. Go, except infinite. As Naruto basically would then leave as his 7 brothers and sister would look at Naruto. And as his 6 brothers and 1 sister would look at Naruto, as Azura would leave alongside Naruto. As Naruto, of course, would go to the Earth and would go to the world of Chakra, as Azura would leave to Earth. As that's where I'm ending this part off. Hope y'all enjoyed part 2 of what if Naruto was an immortal. Oh, hope y'all enjoyed, and yeah, peace. And skadoosh.